Yo, welcome back in. Welcome back in, man. It's your boy, Mike, back at it, week 11, as we're going to go into Houston, man, to take on the Houston Texans. And this one has a very interesting, storyline to think of, as Arizona does hold the Texans' first round pick in the upcoming draft this season due to the trade in last year's draft, in which the Texans acquired Will Anderson. So definitely a lot of incentive to go ahead and come out strong, win this game, make sure that pick can stay as good as it possibly can be, especially considering Arizona did not expect to be in this position this season now at 6-4. And man, let's take a look at the weekly awards. Josh Dobbs, after a spectacular performance, 16 of 29, 332, 5 scores. Zaven Collins filling it up, 14 tackles and 2 sacks. Christian Gonzalez, 2 interceptions. Burrow doing his thing as well. Great job there. And next thing up, man, it's going to be our first kind of look at some of these draft prospects. Our assistant GM telling us to take a look at middle linebacker Michael Smith. And we will do just that. Michael Smith, round 2 to 3 projection. Very good, first look. B block shed, B pursuit, and B zone coverage. Just 21 years old and 6'2", out of Washington. And as far as his combine stats, I mean, look at that. Or not combine, but the physicals. Great to elite in a lot of different things, and he looks really good. Now we're going to move over to those quarterbacks. And top 2 players on the board, both QBs, starting with quarterback Kenny Sasser, strong arm out of Washington as well. Michael Smith's teammate, 22, 6'4", 228 pounds. And again, those first couple stats look really good. BB for deep and medium, A for short, and a great to elite throw power with good to great acceleration. The speed's not there, but with great to elite throw power, man. That's his bread and butter. That's what's made him so successful. That's what's boosted him up these draft boards. And as you see, man, like his accuracies are definitely very, very good. B trucking as well. So somebody to keep an eye on. Although his talent says he's only a 1 to 2, he is a top 5 projected talent. A top 5 projected draft pick. And then Travis Gardner, 6'3", 21 years old, also in Washington. That is interesting and something that I don't think I've ever seen before. Not as good, at first look. B deep, B short, C medium. But here we go. Also great to elite throw power, solid to good speed, and great to elite acceleration. So he's definitely going to have a bit more movement than Sasser. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm still thinking about the fact that both of these quarterbacks play for Washington. I don't know how that's a thing, but hey, it is what it is. Welcome to Madden. A, trucking, B, awareness, A, injury. Now, that's the big thing. We don't want an injury-prone player. Injuries do happen in the game. And, the less chance of that happening, the better. Let's take a look at another quarterback prospect that looked very intriguing. That's Glenn Roberts out of LSU, another 21-year-old at 6'2". And once again, those accuracies are going to need work with C deep, B medium, and B short. But look at that. Great to elite speed, great to elite acceleration, and great to elite throw power. That's really the whole shebang right there. With A, throw under pressure, A, juke move, A to B spin. Man, this might be someone that, could really be intriguing in this system, where mobility is going to help out. Calvin McGee, left tackle from Oklahoma, 6'8", good to great strength. Was hoping for a little bit better, but solid across the board. That D injury is scary, and his finesse blocking ratings are not spectacular, but definitely a lot to work with there. Sturdy guy at 6'8". Mike Borden, Auburn, left tackle, 6'5", 326. B pass block, not quite sure of the run blocking yet at A to C. And his strength was a bit underwhelming at solid to good, but his traits overall look very, very good. B's and A's pretty much across the board. Another guy with the finesse moves, not necessarily being up to par, but they are rookies and they're going to have room to develop. Moving into some guards, Nick Mitchell, Florida State, 6'4", 334, and great to elite strength. And again, that's going to be one of the biggest things, taking a look at these offensive line prospects. And a couple seasons there, pass block power, run block finesse, but definitely plenty to, like when you're taking a look at young players like that, with room to grow. Noah Gilmore, USC, 6'3", 335. B awareness and B pass block is very promising, especially considering we haven't seen a whole lot of that so far. With great to elite strength, he has the power to match. And the only thing that may be a concern is that injury rating. And once again, those finesse ratings just not looking amazing. How about day 3 center Dalton Murray? Dalton Murray, man, A impact block, A pass block, A to C awareness. Not quite sure of the run block yet, but at 21 years old and a potential day 3 pick, this could be one of the steals of the draft. With his ratings, looking solid to good strength, but look at the speed and acceleration. Definitely going to be quick off the line after the snap. And with run block power being a D, that is really his only concern. Other than that, pretty much A's and B's. But George Huntley, a round 1 guy, also 21 years old, out of Auburn. B pass blocking. Awareness, impact, and pass block unknown at this point at A to C. But, he looks good. Off first look, strength, great to elite. Speed is good enough. The finesse ratings, as has been the pattern in this class, could possibly need some work. But, not too bad. Derek Youngblood, the young offensive lineman in this class, 21 years old again, Texas A&M. A impact with B. Oh, sorry, y'all. With B run block. Solid to good strength, not amazing. B pass block. See, I knew I was messing up right there, y'all. And the finesse ratings are a C. We've seen a couple D's in there, so C and a C is promising. And the only right tackle even worth mentioning, top 5 talent, Keegan Buchanan, 6'5", 22 years old, 320 pounds, and great to elite everything. I'm not sure that I've ever seen a prospect have that. I could have just maybe not stumbled upon it. There's generally at least one that's just good to great, but he has a lot to work with here. His power blocking is looking like it's going to be, his biggest quote unquote downfall. But B injury, A lead block with B pass and B run, somebody to definitely keep an eye on. We'll look at more at the defense in a future video, but for now, just wanted to highlight a lot more of the offensive guys that we were taking a look at. As we'll get into some upgrades here, and Jalen Thompson now the best player on the team overall wise, +2 man, +2 zone, up to an 84 overall. And man, he's played decently well this season. Hasn't had a lot of huge breakout plays. I believe he only has 1 interception on the season, but he's been a relatively reliable tackler at this point. Now going to be the veteran in that defensive backfield. And B.J. Ojolari now going to get an upgrade. 1 acceleration, 1 block shed, 2 tackle. Zone coverage upgrade doesn't really matter. I mean, he does drop there from time to time, but not often enough to really, be worried about it. Brian Edwards, been pretty quiet this season. Much expected from a number 3 receiver. Also considering that not only is he the number 3 receiver, he's really number 4 in the pecking order behind Bateman, Rondo Moore, as well as Trey McBride, and of course he was behind Hollywood at the time. Now Garrett Williams, the rookie, unfortunate that he started the season injured. Had he not, we likely wouldn't have picked up Greedy Williams, but it is what it is. And we're going to take a look now at some more contracts, some more guys that we're going to consider, either looking for an extension or not. And Dobbs, we are going to go ahead and offer him a contract. He does not like that. He doesn't really want to be here too much. But, the way he's played this season, we wouldn't mind keeping him around next year, potentially as a backup, third stringer, whatever it may be. Xander Horvath, now the fullback, going to go ahead and get that deal done over 2 years. Let's go ahead and take another look at a few of these guys. Netani Muti, at the end of the day, even if he doesn't have a huge piece to play in this puzzle, very good depth at 71 overall, just 24, and he's going to be back. Marquise Blair, we've liked him in his limited action as well. We think he could be a great, veteran depth piece moving forward, and he will go ahead and re-sign with the team. Kayvon Wallace hasn't really seen the field enough to make, to think that we want to re-sign him. So we're just going to go ahead and let him go after this year. Lecky Fotu, going to up that money a little bit. 25 years old, just a 1-year deal, prove-it deal, and he's going to be back with the team. Rajon Wright, again, we're going to have a lot of cornerback depth next year. But Rajon Wright has the physicality, the physical tools that look really good. He's going to elect to decline at this moment in time. Interesting decision. Max Duggan, man, nobody needs to talk about that Max Duggan game ever again. He was poor, to say the least. Not working with a whole lot of talent around him, but Josh Dobbs has done a much better job, even despite the rough first half against the Ravens. Duggan had his moment, didn't do much with it. And we're going to look for Bryan Edwards, who has very, very, very little interest in us, and he's going to decide to hold off as well. As we are going to hop in with the showcase, man, you already know Josh Dobbs last week. 332 yards, 5 touchdowns, no picks. Came back with a vengeance. One player of the week in an absolute annihilation of the Atlanta Falcons. But, now it's a new kind of test. Atlanta has a quarterback in Desmond Ridder who, after year one, despite not having many starts, there were a lot of questions surrounding him, and he wasn't a high draft pick. CJ Stroud, definitely more of an unknown, now about a little more than halfway through his rookie year. But there's a reason that he was drafted in the second round and Ridder was drafted in the third round. So CJ Stroud going to be looking to propel his team to a win as well in this one against the Cardinals defense, man, that has shown that it can get got. Although, hadn't really been got too much this season by the lesser tier quarterbacks. As here we are, Houston's starting lineup. CJ Stroud, as we just mentioned, going to be leading the way. Davis Mills, respectable in his time as the starter, but he's going to make way for Stroud. Dameon Pierce, Devin Singletary, the backfield with Andrew Beck at fullback. Rookie Tank Dell, man, electric in real life. Really look like in the direction that the connection him and Stroud are having, the direction Dell's going in his development. And of course, John Mechie now, essentially his rookie year after missing his entire first season due to it might have been blood clots. I might be mistaken there. But Laramie Tunsil, Kendrick Green, Ben Jones, Shaq Mason, and George Fant going to be that starting offensive lineman, with Kenyon Green, young left guard, out for the year. Will Anderson going to be one of those primary pass rushers, along with Bryce Huff. Sheldon Rankins and Malik Collins going to handle interior duties. Corey Littleton, Blake Cashman, Denzel Perryman, and Henry To'oTo'o, as well as Malik Reed, going to be those linebackers there, with the second-year Alabama linebacker Christian Harris probably, sporadically getting in there. Derek Stingley, Shaq Griffin, Steven Nelson, the top three guys there. I went to LSU for a year, so seeing Stingley, as a top guy is pretty nice to see. Jalen Petrie, Jimmy Ward, safety tandem. Kaimi Fairbairn, Lou Headley going to be that special teams duo. Now here he is, looking to build upon his best game, not just of the season, but 100% of his NFL career. 19 touchdowns, 12 picks. Now here we go. We're going to open things out under center. Going to hand off Ty Davis Price. Shocker there. A week ago, Davis Price, 18 for 85. Been having a lot of trouble getting Ty Davis Price involved in the flow of the game. A lot of his yards recently have been coming more so, when the ball game is already pretty much decided. Rondale Moore, wow, what a throw from Josh Dobbs. That was a risky one. Looked like it might have been intercepted, but instead, Rondale Moore is going to get the ball in a position in the only position that Dobbs could have put it in, to lead to that completion. But it's going to move the chains now at the 44-yard line of Arizona, of their own 44. He's going to, again, look to try to squeeze one in there to Bryan Edwards. Not quite able to do so. Really, really good coverage there from Houston. And on 3rd and 9, Josh Dobbs dropping back, clean pocket, going to hit Rashad Bateman, and he's hit down after a gain of 18 yards and into Houston territory now at the 39-yard line. 1st and 10, Dobbs going to hand off. Davis Price to the left, and Davis Price nowhere to go. Houston's run defense looking pretty stingy to start things out here. 2nd and 8, Dobbs going to go ahead and fake the handoff. Ty Davis Price going to roll out, going to keep looking downfield, eyes down. I don't know why I keep saying Gilbert. Elijah Higgins going to get it on the sideline. 1st down, Arizona. And here we go. Dobbs, again, fakes. Dobbs going to take a shot for Rashad Bateman in double coverage, and Bateman is going to be unable to corral that one. And it's going to be 3rd and 10 now. Arizona with the promising drive, hoping to end it with points. And he's going to look over the middle of the field to Trey McBride. McBride going to get tackled. McBride fighting. Man, great job by Trey McBride, showing the strength. Really powerful dude, man. He's been the unheralded receiving option in this offense up to this year. Of course, he's been the number 3 all year, behind Rondale Moore and the combo of Bateman and Hollywood Brown. But McBride has had plenty of really, really big plays, especially when you look at that Atlanta game. He did more than his part in that one, as Bryan Edwards going to get the pass short from Josh Dobbs to cash in on that first possession of the game. Bryan Edwards now with his second score of the year. Bryan Edwards, again, doesn't get a whole lot of love in this offense between Davis Price and Cohen running the ball, Dobbs running it a little bit himself, and then those trio of receiving weapons ahead of him. And here's C.J. Stroud, man, not having a really good year in the game, obviously having a great year in real life. 8 touchdowns, 9 picks, 1,674 yards, and we'll see what Stroud and this Houston offense can get going here on their opening possession, as Stroud's under center, going to fake it. Kaiser White coming up the middle, no dice. Tank Dell going to get a deep shot. Marco Wilson unable to get into position to either knock that one away or potentially intercept it, as Stroud is going to connect with Tank Dell early in the game for a gain of 38 yards. And how about that from the young man? Tank Dell, of course, not even a bigger target, just put it threw it up, and Tank Dell was able to track it and come down with it because of the poor tracking by Marco Wilson, as he completes a pass out on 2nd and 3, or on 1st and 10. Now here 2nd and 3, gonna pass, hand it off to the right, Dameon Pierce, and a whiff by Marco Wilson is going to go ahead and see Dameon Pierce get Houston into the end zone after a very, very easy, short opening drive. Just 3 plays it takes Houston to get into the end zone. And it's Dameon Pierce, man, the workhorse running back who emerged last season, and he continues it here. Now, here we go. New possession, 1st and 10, 7 all. Dobbs going to look short to Rondale Moore. Moore only going to be able to get 2 there on the quick screen. 2nd and 8. Dobbs making some adjustments at the line. Going to fake the handoff to Davis Price. He's going to hit Rondale Moore on the right side. Moore able to keep himself in bounds. Tries to make a move. Going to be hit down by Derek Stingley. And Ty Davis Price again trying to find some space. Can't. And Davis Price, 5 carries, 5 yards. Texans defensive front, they're like, you can run over everybody, but you're not going to run over us. How about that from the Texans, as Dobbs scrambling out, nowhere to go. Will Anderson in pursuit, and Dobbs has to throw it away to avoid a sack. The number 3 overall pick, Will Anderson, forcing that and giving the Texans the ball back after a quick 3 and out. As again, man, Stroud and gonna find his target. That's, I don't even know how to pronounce his name, y'all. Quintanoa, something like that. And they're making it look easy so far in the first quarter. 7-7, both teams moving the ball, or moved the ball, and were able to get opening drive scores. But after a 3 and out now, Arizona or Houston's going to look to try to take advantage, as Kaiser White going to break up that pass intended for Dalton Schultz. Really nice tight coverage by Kaiser there. 3rd and 7, Stroud under center once again, going to take his drop back. Stroud going to look. He's looking for Dalton Schultz, and he's not going to find him. He's instead going to find number 25. That's Zaven Collins, the 3rd-year linebacker who had struggled, throughout his first 2 years, really struggled to, solidify a full-time role in any particular position under head coach Cliff Kingsbury. But after, the original plan was to move him to an edge rushing position, head coach Mike White decided he wanted to keep him in that linebacker role, that Mike linebacker role. And he's paid it off this year so far, man, having a really, really good season. Now here we are, 3rd and 2. As Dobbs going to keep it himself, and Dobbs tries to power through, isn't able to, but does get enough for the first down. And again, man, they're driving into Houston territory at the 36. Dobbs looking for Trey McBride, and inside a nice tight window, McBride going to get the spinning catch. McBride going to be brought down at the 11-yard line. Now here we are on 2nd and 8. And here he is, Dobbs, again, rolling, looking. Ty Davis Price. Davis Price tries to dive for the end zone, not able to get there. And here we are, first and goal. You got plenty of chances to try to punch this in. They're going to give it to Davis Price, trying to rebuild some confidence. He dives and flips over the pile. But Ty Davis Price going to get it into the end zone. Has gone some games, without being able to put the ball in there. And we think that one's going to definitely be able to give him some confidence moving forward. Great job by the offense moving the ball downfield. Dobbs definitely continuing his good showing, and again, just continuing that revenge tour after that benching. Stroud looking short, and he's going to go ahead and find Tank Dell out to the 35-yard line. Now 2nd and 8, 4:37 left in the second quarter. Dobbs in the shotgun. Dobbs going to get it. He's going to take a deep drop, going to look deep. Greedy Williams in coverage, unable to hold on to that, intended for Tank Dell. And C.J. Stroud got away with one there. Greedy doesn't drop a whole lot of those. Drops that one, and that's all he needed. As Stroud wide open, looked like he could have had a lane to run, elects to roll out, and Marco Wilson gonna bring him down. Interesting from Stroud that he elected not to take what looked like a guaranteed first down, and he wouldn't have even have had to take a hit. Could have just gotten down after the sticks. Elects not to, as Tariq Cohen's going to get a nice return up to the 44-yard line. And Ty Davis Price, once again, as we mentioned, man, really struggling against this Texans front. 7 carries, just 5 yards. Of course, one of those carries was a touchdown, and he only was able to go 1 yard. But nonetheless, 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Arizona's defense setting them up, defense and special teams, setting them up in great position as Davis Price going to have his best run of the game by far. He's going to get a gain of, 9.5-ish. It's going to set up a 2nd and inches for Arizona as Dobbs will drop back into the shotgun. Rondale Moore to his left, and that's exactly who he's going to look for. Rondale Moore going to get muscled out of bounds at the 40-yard line and once again into Houston territory. For all the good that the Texans offense has tried to do, their defense has not been helping them out a whole lot, as Davis Price going to get dropped after a gain of 3. Looked like he had a decent amount of real estate there, but it closes quickly and he's going to be brought down. Now here we go, 2nd and 7. Cohen up the gut. Cohen, best run of the game by far for this Arizona team, and he's going to be dropped down at the 20-yard line, knocking on the door of the red zone after a gain of 17 yards. And here's Dobbs again looking to try to go to Bateman. Bateman unable to get there. Shaq Griffin able to knock it away. And here we are, 3rd and 11. Arizona, 1:05 left, looking to go up by 14 points potentially with a score, and he's going to overthrow Rondale Moore, who probably didn't have a chance anyway. Double coverage right there. And they're going to settle for 3. It'll be 17-7. 57 seconds left. Texans going to try to make something happen, but Cameron Thomas says, not on my watch. He's going to bring down C.J. Stroud. It'll be 2nd and 21, and Stroud going to have a wide open Dalton Schultz. Man, how about that from Schultz? Definitely not something you want to give up, especially with 2nd and 21. Don't want to give up those kind of yards. And he's going to dump it down to Devin Singletary. Singletary hit immediately. 1st and 10, 27 seconds left. Houston with just 1 timeout remaining. Oh, man, Marco Wilson jumped the route, saw it the whole way, unable to hold on to it, and Stroud now gotten away with 2 potential INTs. As 2nd and 10, 20 seconds. He's going to look deep. Mukuamu. Now, Mukuamu was beat on that route, to be fair, but that length is definitely, what allowed him to make a play on that ball. 3rd and 10, Arizona looking to take the game to halftime, and it looked like Houston was too, but the run for Dameon Pierce able to get enough. And here we go, fresh set of downs. 13 seconds remaining. Stroud going to be sacked by Ojulari. And Ojulari able to stop any chances they had of putting some points on the board to end the half. Great job all around from this team, man, in the first half. Picking up right where they left off against the Falcons. And it's going to be 17-7 headed into the locker rooms. Arizona dominating offensively for the most part, doubled them up in passing yards just about. Still unable to find a whole lot of running room outside of one good carry from Cohen and Ty Davis Price apiece. Let's take a look around the league. Dallas in Carolina, looking to keep that record with just the one loss to guess who? Your own Arizona Cardinals. Bryce Young and Dak each with an interception. Neither offense looking fantastic in that one. Moving along in Green Bay, the Chargers visiting up 28-0. And Justin Herbert putting on a clinic, 14 of 18, 253 scores. Jordan Love struggling with that interception being thrown. Pittsburgh in Cleveland, and they are in a stalemate. Kenny Pickett, 64 yards in a score. Deshaun Watson, 60 yards in a score. And again, another defensive battle. Been a couple of those that we saw, inside that halftime report. It'll be interesting to see how those games end. Well, not the Chargers game. We already know how that game is going to end more than likely. And here we go, man. Let's pick it up in the second half. Texans with the ball, looking to make something happen. Haven't been able to get a whole lot going since that since that opening touchdown, and Cam Thomas almost got in the face of C.J. Stroud. Didn't matter. Gets it off quickly. Tank Dell beats Greedy Williams. Gets the first down. Moving along later in the drive. Here we are, 2nd and 10. Stroud going to drop back. Stroud going to find his man Dalton Schultz over the middle, but he is going to be hit by Zaven Collins, and he is not going to hang on to the football. 3rd and 10. Houston. 2 backs in the backfield. Stroud going to drop back again, and he's going to go to his man Tank Dell again, who breaks a tackle, but he's going to finally be brought down. That's Jalen Johnson. Tank Dell, man, definitely the best receiver on this team, and he's been giving Greedy the business so far. And, Greedy could have paid him back with that interception. Didn't, but it is what it is. 2nd down, they're going to go to the left side to John Mechie, and Israel Mukuamu able to break that pass up. 3rd and inches, Houston looking to make something happen. He's going to look short. Is that Brevin Jordan? I was going to say, was that Nico Collins? Brevin Jordan on the short reception as Houston, man, putting together a solid drive here, looking to reduce their score down, the deficit back down to 1 score, but he won't, as Jalen Johnson on it the whole way against Laviska Shenault is going to haul in the INT, his 2nd now as an Arizona Cardinal, and he's getting more and more comfortable each week. Great job from Jalen Johnson. As Arizona is going to take over the ball again. Quick pass short, Trey McBride, gain of 6. Got to take the easy stuff when you can. 15 to 21, 153, and a score for Josh Dobbs here. Not lighting it up with the touchdowns like he was last week, but doing enough, being very efficient with the football as this run game has struggled. Ty Davis Price now averaging just 2.6 a carry. Here we are, 3rd and 2. Dobbs going to give it off. Ty Davis Price. Davis Price has open field. He trucks a man, but is going to unfortunately go out of bounds. Gain of 18 yards. Great job from Davis Price, man. Definitely don't want to let this Texans team be the ones to make you look like a scrub on the ground. As Dobbs, a pass he probably shouldn't have thrown. McBride, fortunately, able to stop that from going back the other way. And here we are, 3rd and 6. Dobbs looking around, seeing what adjustments he might need to make, decides not to make any, and Dobbs is going to look over the middle. Rashad Bateman, but it's too far in front. And Houston's defense going to give them the ball back after the interception. But, man, an interception in the red zone is not something that you want to see as this Texans OC. And Dameon Pierce going to get the carry, powers through one, picks up the first. Dameon Pierce, 45 yards on just 4 carries, including their only score of the game up to this point. Now, here they are. Fresh set of downs, going to hand off. Pierce again with nice blocking. Going to pick up 7 this time around. And, man, if they just keep handing it to Dameon Pierce, he's averaging over 10 a carry. That might be their best bet as Pierce gets it again. They must have heard me. Gain of 3, not spectacular, but enough for the first down, which is really all you can ask for. Here we are, 1st and 10. Houston trying to put another little something together. C.J. Stroud dropping back. Stroud looking, and he's going to be picked again. The 2nd of the game for Zaven Collins, 3rd overall for this Arizona defense. And, with their running game of their offense not clicking and The offense just as a whole, of course, doing pretty well. Still only a 10-point game, and Arizona's defense is trying to keep it that way as Davis Price gets the handoff, going to get a gain of 8. 2nd and 2. Dobbs adjusting, calling for an audible, going to roll out to his left now and just going to take the quick dump off to Trey McBride. McBride hit out of bounds at the 29-yard line. And Arizona, this could potentially be a put-away drive, just a minute and a half remaining as he overthrows Elijah Higgins. It's a 10-point game now, and a touchdown here would put it into 3-score range. And with the way that Houston's offense has played so far, you definitely wouldn't put your money on that, as he's going to hit the dig to Rashad Bateman, gain of 17 yards. And Dobbs really spreading this ball around here. 1st and 10. Dobbs, spread look. Dobbs going to look short. Rashad Bateman, way to hold on through the contact and then through the secondary contact as well. Bateman going to manage to hold on to that one, and that is going to see us into the 4th quarter with, again, Arizona, despite just the 10-point lead, Arizona's dominating this game. Houston hasn't been able to really do much outside of that first drive, and then one other drive that they did, Stroud threw an interception in the red zone. 2nd and 5, Dobbs looking, gonna be taken down. That's Sheldon Rankins getting into the backfield to take down Dobbs. And, surprisingly, sacks have not been something that Arizona's had to worry about too much this year. I believe that's only the 6th or 7th sack of the year allowed by them, as Dobbs shakes it off, finds Rashad Bateman, beating Shaq Griffin, giving him another opportunity, and he makes it happen. Rashad Bateman really getting into his groove as well in Arizona. And they're liking what they're seeing from him, man. We think that he's been a more reliable target up to this point than Hollywood was, as C.J. Stroud throws his 4th interception of the game. Stroud not able to catch any breaks. Well, he caught 2 already, and Greedy this time not going to let another one slip through his fingers. That's now 4 interceptions of C.J. Stroud on the afternoon. Davis Price up the gut, gain of 2. Looking a little bit better, 15 carries, 52 yards, but once again, just not really getting it done. That's 3.5 a carry. Davis Price up the middle to the left side, and Davis Price going to be brought down after a gain of 19. Davis Price just getting 1, 1, 2, 18. 1, 2, 1, 19. And Tariq Cohen up the middle makes a cut inside down to the 7-yard line. And, if it wasn't done after that last touchdown, definitely got to assume that a score here puts the game out of reach for Houston, as Dobbs in the backfield trips to his right, trying to calm the crowd down in Houston. That's a funny way of doing things. He's going to look short, Rondale Moore, and he's going to be intercepted. He is going to be picked off. That's Steven Nelson. And Dobbs, man, no turnovers last week. Gets one here now, or throws one here now. Steven Nelson read that one pretty much the whole way. He was in front of that ball before it got anywhere near Rondale Moore. Not a great decision from Dobbs. Definitely got to give him some grace. He's been playing spectacularly these last couple of weeks. 24-7, Houston now. Not too many opportunities remaining to try to make this a ball game. Dameon Pierce going to get some nice blocks on that screen pass. Stroud now 11-21, 186. 1st and 10. 7 minutes remaining. Trips to his left. Stroud dropping back. Stroud going to hit his flat target. That's going to be... Oh, is that Mechie? Yeah, that's going to be John Mechie getting his catch. Y'all, I said John Mechie caught a pass earlier in this one. I was incorrect. That was Laviska Shenault that he was targeting on that play. So I apologize for that. A risky throw. Dalton Schultz able to hang on to it. Falls to the ground with it. As Houston, building up a little bit of momentum right here after the Steven Nelson pick. Going to hand it off. Singletary able to get a nice gain of 6 yards. And now here they are, 2nd and 4. Again, trips to the left. Devin Singletary in the backfield with C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud going to take it, going to drop back, going to look short, dump off Devin Singletary. Singletary now, another touch on this possession. 2nd and 10, a little bit later in the drive. Here's Stroud with Beck and Dameon Pierce in the backfield with him. And C.J. Stroud Gonna look wide open over the middle. That's Tank Dell. And Dell, man, been really the only reliable target that Stroud's had up to this point. Schultz has had a few catches, but, nothing spectacular. 1st and 10, gonna hand off Singletary. Singletary finds a crease. How about that from Devin Singletary? 17 yards to the 5-yard line. They're gonna hurry it up. Stroud liking a little bit something that he sees. Stroud dropping back. Stroud gonna look. He's going to find Laviska Shenault at the 2-yard line. He's going to hurry it up again as this Arizona defense scrambles. And CJ Stroud scrambling out to his left, going to find Devin Singletary standing just beyond the plane of the end zone by himself. He holds on, and that's going to be a Houston Texans touchdown. Now 24-14. And they made things a little bit interesting here. 2:34 remaining. They still have all 3 timeouts. A stop here. Well, there we go. 1st and 10. But, a stop here or even, holding them to just 3 points could see the Texans potentially make an attempt at a comeback. 1st and 10, Stroud faking. Stroud going to throw for Rashad Bateman out of his reach. There was a little bit of pressure in his face. 3rd and 11 after the 2-minute warning. CJ Stroud going to move Tariq Cohen to his other side, trying to take advantage of the numbers game here. Going to go ahead and send Tariq Cohen on a different route as here we go, 3rd and 11. Stroud dropping back a whole lot. Rashad Bateman looked like it was going to be overthrown. It's not. And Rashad Bateman now, his second interception, second touchdown of the game. And how about that, man? It definitely looked like that pass was going to go sailing over his head just a little bit. Instead, Bateman makes a really acrobatic leap into the air to go ahead and make sure he snags that one without letting it sail over him, and then outruns the man, and he's going to be into the end zone, pushing that lead back up to 17, and now Houston is in desperation mode. Houston down 17 points, haven't been able to do a whole lot this game. They're going to look to try to make something happen now as the deep shot down the field to John Mechie is going to be completed. Now 1 minute and 5 seconds left. They're going to hurry up to the line. Stroud going to find a man, going to look to his right, and here he is. That's John Mechie. Mechie now with his second catch of the game. They're going to third catch of the game. They're going to hurry it up again. Stroud again, same play it looks like to the right side. This time Laviska Shenault pushed out of bounds at the 3-yard line. And where was this all game from Houston? Well, it was on their opening drive, but not too much after that. 1st and goal. And again, at this point, you got to think just trying to make the score line look a little bit nicer, a little cleaner. As Marco Wilson nearly intercepts Stroud, would have been the 5th of the game for this defense. That's 3 drops, 3 dropped picks from this Arizona defense, including 2 from Marco Wilson as Schultz is overthrown. He was wide open. Would have not a walk-in. He was in the end zone. Would have been a score for sure. 3rd and goal. Stroud going to be taken down. That's Kaiser White coming up the middle, and they're going to hurry it up again now. At this point, not really sure why, but 12 seconds remaining. Stroud going to look wide open, right side, been the theme of this drive. Laviska Shenault to make things look a little prettier. Garbage time, but that's going to be all she wrote as Arizona, only a 10-point win due to that last touchdown, but 31-21. Pretty solid on both sides. The game was really never in doubt, beyond the first couple of possessions. Head coach Mike White showing some love to fellow first-year head coach DeMeco Ryans as the team really, performed in all 3 phases today. Ended up with 120 rushing yards, which is interesting. Didn't feel like we really ran with much success. Only 1 turnover for us compared to 4 for them. 7 of 10 on 3rd down really helps you out. 5 of 8 for them. A lot of that coming on the last drive of the game. And just 1 penalty this game. It was a roughing the kicker call on on a PAT, so no penalty yardage there. Stroud, 23 of 36, 295, 2 touchdowns, 4 picks. Dobbs, another really good game, 20 of 31, 238, 3 touchdowns. Did have the 1 interception, but can't complain too much with that one. Ty Davis Price, 89 yards and a score. Damian Pierce, who they probably should have given a bigger role to, but much like us in the last couple of weeks, the way the game played out didn't really allow for that. Tank Dell, 5 for 107. Bateman, 5 for 97 and 2 scores. McBride, 5 for 71. And Rondale Moore, 5 catches, 50 yards. Singletary catching that score as well. That made things interesting for just a moment. Tackles for loss, a bunch of guys with 1. Sacks, Cam Thomas, B.J. Ojolari, Kaiser White, Marco Wilson, and then, of course, Sheldon Rankins with the Texans' lone sack. Zaven Collins with 2. Greedy Williams and Jalen Johnson picking up the other 2 for the defense. Not much else to speak of. And we do have quite a few upgrades here. I'm going to go ahead and give a scrambler upgrade to Josh Dobbs. Just keep him at what he's good at. +2 throw on the run, going to help us out a lot on those play-action rollouts. Ty Davis Price now with another upgrade. Davis Price been developing very, very well this season. Going to go ahead and put one into elusive back, playing up to a 76 now. 1 acceleration, 2 juke, 1 spin. Great to see. Now to 95 acceleration. That's actually really, really good. Great job from Ty Davis Price. Greedy Williams, man of the hour. Really been locking in the last few weeks. Going to go ahead and give him a slot upgrade. Slot's one of the better upgrades for corners that need man coverage. Greedy doesn't necessarily need the man. His man's in a decent spot compared to the zone. But also one of the ones that gives you a really good press. So going to go with that. And Matt Prater with that upgrade, now 99 kick power. So, man, after back-to-back pretty dominant W's, Falcons more so dominant against Atlanta than Houston, but dominant nonetheless. They are set for a Week 12 rematch, this time in their own stadium, taking on the LA Rams, who earlier this year ended their 4-game winning streak early in the season, handed them their 2nd loss overall of the year, and Cooper Kupp absolutely dominated in that matchup, having 3 first-half touchdowns and going for almost 200 yards. I'm going to have to double-check. I believe it was almost 200. I don't think he got quite to that barrier, although I could be wrong. The one difference this time was a close game, but they were missing Aaron Donald in that one. He will play in this matchup. At 4-6, LA stumbling, Arizona looking to keep rolling, especially with the Niners, just a half game back. Well, really a game and a half, considering they do have that head-to-head so far with one matchup left to play. But thank you, as always, you all for joining us. I'm having a whole lot of fun recording this series, really liking this Arizona team. Looking forward to keeping it going. Be sure to like and subscribe should you feel so inclined. Once again, it's been your boy Mike. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Peace.